Hello and welcome to our channel Daddy, Dad and Me. We became a family last summer when we adopted our son after starting our adoption journey back in 2018. As you can see from the channel, we have lots of vlogs to help prospective adopters and other adoptive families on their journey to parenthood. We have vlogged all about different aspects of our journey, from stepping foot right inside the adoption agency, the assessment process, and more recently, parenting little man. Here's today's vlog. Hi everybody, hope you're all well. So this was a video that has been asked for by one of our subscribers, and obviously as you'll see from the title, it's about potty stroke toilet training. I'm going to be talking about our experience, our opinions, our views, etc. This will obviously differ quite vastly from child to child. All children will progress, will develop at different ages and stages. So yeah, this is just really our experience. I'm hoping this will help you in some way, and just to give you a bit of an insight really, because obviously we had never gone through that process before, so it's been a learning journey for us. Obviously with adopting children, babies, etc., it's very much dependent on their age as to where they are going to be. Little man was 2 when we first met him, and at that stage, with regards to his toilet training, he was still in the pull-ups, or for a small point period in time, and then they were taken away and he just had them at night because he preferred having pants just during the day, and he was relatively dry. Few accidents here and there, but that is to be expected. So when introductions happened, which was kind of I'm trying to think, probably about 5-6 months after all of that, he by that point was already learning to go to the potty if he needed a wee. Nothing was ever kind of forced. I don't mean obviously physically, but as in he wanted to do it all himself. He wanted to learn how to do it, and that was the one of the great things about the foster carer, in that they just had the potty there. If he needed a wee or had the feeling of needing to go for a wee or a number 2, then he would take himself to the potty. He'd also have one in his room, so there was one available near the kind of lounge or sofa or like play area, and then one upstairs, so there was something always easily accessible for him if he needed to go to the toilet. So when he came to us, we were kind of expecting that he would regress in some way, and that can be in all shapes and forms: eating, sleeping, toileting, etc. And he did regress a little bit when he came to us. We initially had the potties around, and they were around for a good, I'd probably say 6-7 months or so in that time, and we say a few accidents here and there, but that's to be expected. But with so far as regression, it would sometimes be in forgetting what to do, and obviously he was still learning at that stage and is still learning, so some days he would be able to very kind of quickly know what to do. Other days, just because of the day itself or what it'd been like in the night, it could be a tiredness, or it could be, you have to imagine if they're out playing all of the time, they may not necessarily want to, their first thing is, I want to carry on playing, this is fun, this is much more exciting, and that's where we found that kind of our trigger points, so far as in that they would be the moments that would be quite rushed for him, and they would usually end up in the accidents. So it's always asking him quite often, do you need the toilet? And he was very receptive to it, and you could kind of see the triggers for him, and that he would get quite jittery in his legs, he would start touching himself, which is all very common for boys, and you could sometimes, probably more so when he came to us just after introductions, came home, you could see the spotting in the underwear, so you could kind of tell that they were the telltale signs for him that he needed to go to the toilet. Moving on to now, so 8-9 months on, the potties in both his bedroom and in our lounge space were were removed because we felt we kind of need to get him, obviously for school that's going to be happening later in the year, he needs to be able to go to the toilet, and he was already naturally going to the toilet and he was choosing to do it. So yeah, we took them away, and he's been absolutely fine with it. We do have one of the seats, obviously, so he can sit his bottom on the toilet, but again, more recently, definitely in the last few weeks, and I'm probably thinking because children are like sponges anyway, he's probably seen it at nursery or forest school, and as we know, children copy each other, so now he's just been kind of holding himself up over the toilet, being able to balance himself, and going then, and then obviously washing his hands afterwards, which is obviously most important to teach them. And that's really it so far as toilet training. Little man has kind of done it more or less all himself. We've not really had to do too much, but what I would say is if you kind of are starting out with that, have a look online, lots of kind of things like activities or things you can do to encourage going to the toilet, and just teaching them the importance about it. What I would say, and what we are very hot on, is speaking to the childcare places where he will be or they will be, and making sure how do they approach it, what are they teaching, and it's something that I regularly ask them to make sure what kind of phase are we at now, because we wanted to make sure what was happening in his day-to-day was also happening at home, and that's also with other people that look after him. So when he goes to nanny and granddad's to see his auntie, we've made sure this is how he's doing, this is what he's like, and it's just to make sure that everybody's very much aware as to what's going on. I hope that's helpful in some way. So we didn't know when we were going through the process how it would happen and what would happen, and you kind of just have to see, from our point of view, just where naturally you're going to start. And for us, kind of luckily, I suppose, little man wanted to do a lot himself, and just so happened within that 3-month delay that we had after matching and just before intros, in that he more or less taught himself to go to the toilet or on the potty, and he was just very good with it. So but yeah, do look online. Lots of places, especially things like NHS website, they do offer loads and loads of information around toilet training. And yeah, the more it's reinforced by everybody, the quicker you'll probably find that things will come along and develop. So yes, speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye.